So here we are with episode 7 of the Apothecary Diaries. Last episode, Maomao finally got some good food, and the culprit is still at large, so I suppose we're continuing on with that whole mystery. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access to non-seasonal and some seasonal shows like this one on the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. Sorry, I chuckled at this because I was watching the AMV for the for the ending, and they showcased this scene. Did we see a scene of her young holding hands with her dad? Am I getting spoiled by by an AMV? Homecoming, so she's coming back to where her hometown is. Understandable, yeah. Oh, it's Ling Ling, right? Literally put freckles on. Oh my god, I don't know who this woman is. Gaoshun. And she's getting him to do gardening work. Yes! Find fingerprints? One who carried it. And Lishu's taster. And so there's another person who put, like, I assume, like, they touch it like that. Why is the taster's fingers? That's why her finger mark's on there. That's what we figured last episode. I mean, and then also, Lishu is like a kid, so she wouldn't, like, want to talk about it. Oh! I was thinking about the dress, too. But they didn't. They just let her. They were talking about. Okay. Lady Adol was scolding for. Okay. And she can't even trust her lady-in-waiting, so. We need to fucking purge this entire system for her. The whole lady-in-waiting. Ah. Damn, dude. What, not only did they put poison in, they do a little disrespecting too? Goddamn. Why did you try to protect? Oh, he figured. Could toss her out, could kill her at any moment. To a food taster. You got the taste poison, huh? Then at least it would justify you laying in bed all day, huh? Your natural self is showing. Wow. Look after you since you were born. Wow. Notice your true status. Well, Maomao realized it last time, but she didn't understand or didn't realize. She was too busy thinking about Yaoi. Oh yeah, 3 of them! Or 4! You can get out of the rear palace. Ah, so they can get out to ask someone. Damn, it's like an exit pass out here. Is it one time per use or? Always coming to give her food. So you're gonna ask Lihaku or? Oh yeah, you've got a lot of options. She's over here like, I ain't asking, Jinshi. And? Oh no, it's the weird one. Freckles on! I ain't here for no romance! Oh, you're the one who fucking gave me the pen, didn't ya? He's so irritated. Yes. Oh. Yo! 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 Damn! Damn, dude, she's got connections. I'll offer them the same thing. Come on, man, don't lose your opportunity. He just wants to bone. Coincidence? Yes. Oh no, he'll be for Jinshi. Oh, she's interested in this drama. Tisk tisk. Dude, she's playing it all. Oh, she's playing it up. Damn, dude, she lives so close, yet she can't visit. Ooh! Ooh! Dead. I remember this. Scouting immediately. Oh, get Pairin. Oh, shit! Damn, dude, he's got guns! 10 whole months. Yeah, I got kidnapped. This isn't enough for Pairin. Won't leave those muscles alone. Uh-oh. I'll add it to the tab. Oh, shit. You were out for a while. It's been 10 months. Let her get to sleep on her own bed again. What a twist of fate. That's so weird. I was gonna sell you off to the rear palace in the first place. No, it seems like you got yourself in there anyways, huh? Alright. preview. No need for that, so I'm going to write my notes, and we will be right back to the center. This looks like, at first I'm like, it looks like a lion, but it could also be a dragon. So I just wrote my notes, a lion dragon, which is what it is, technically. If you ever been in when it's like the Lunar New Year and stuff, and you go and you see like the dragon dance, there's a difference between the dances. Like if you see the one that like it looks all extravagant and stuff, it kind of looks like it's supposed to be a lion. I think that's what it is. If I remember remembering it incorrectly, then, you know, feel free to fix. But I believe that's the lion, and that's usually only 2 people in the costume. And then the dragon is like a whole line of people in that costume, and that's how you kind of know the difference between the dragon and the lion. But I believe that is like a symbol of the lion. If not, then, you know, again, feel free to correct. But like it's also very small, and you know, I can't enhance it, just zoom in. Unlike I'll be able to in editing. But that does look like the lion's head. Oh, we have seen Pairin before. I was wondering why. I'm just like, Pairin sounds very very familiar. Yeah, she's the first girl that we saw. Yeah, one of the 3 princesses. Is she walking past over here? Ho ho! What? Dude, Lihaku, and she loves big muscles? Damn, dude, Lihaku's out here getting sucked in multiple directions. Alright, so that was episode 7 of the Apothecary Diaries. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty good episode. I will just make note of some of the things that I was talking about last time, just to do a little correction, or at least just to reform my thoughts with what I was talking about, how I feel like Maomao is a little emotionally attached. I'm just saying a little, right? It's not like a full-on set, but I think the word that I was looking for was aloof, right? She is very aloof. That being said, right, there still could be that just tiny bit of like detachment, but from what it looks like, right, the reason why she isn't all that worried as much was because she was able to send, I was gonna say emails for some reason, she's able to send messages to the people back in the, what is it called, the Verdigris house. So the old madame is able to take care of her dad for her, so she doesn't have to worry as much. But as we saw in this episode, she's dreaming of her dad and she wonders if he's doing okay again. That being said, it still kind of goes to the idea that she cares for other people, but not too much about herself in general. And then there's the other one, which is Lihaku, which I thought that, you know, Lihaku perhaps may or may not have gotten some sort of interest in Maomao, but no, he's just like, no, she's just a weird person, which understandable. Understandable. But we see his true nature, where when he got the message, he's just like, ah, shit, some of them actually took me seriously, which is just like, well, yeah, no fucking shit, bro. You're out here giving a bunch of stuff, and now you're irritated that somebody is coming to use it. You know, it's just like, all right, dude, the amount of fucking, I've lost the word. I was gonna say dignity, but it's not high horse. It's the only, why do I only have horses in my head, right? Damn you, Tier Moon Empire. But potentially Maomao going out with Lihaku and her not really understanding the gesture of the hairpin, it's going to cause, it's going to stir something between her and Jinshi, as Gokaku realizes, right? She's just like, yeah, this is gonna be great. This is some great entertainment right now. Understandable, Gokaku, understandable. Gokaku? Oh my god, I'm saying somebody. Gokuyo! Alright, I've been having Gokaku in my head this whole time, and I don't understand why. I have to search up this name. Alright, I couldn't find anything relating to that, so I don't know why that's just in my head, other than the fact that I'm just messing up words. I'm just messing up names. There's so many fucking names, character names, in like many other anime that I'm like trying to keep track of, and it's I'm starting to jumble everything up. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say in terms of like corrections or just me doing a little reiteration. So we're just going to get into the poisoning. There's this whole thing with Gaoshun that I'm not particularly thinking of as much. Also, cute little Lingling, very nice. We have Gaoshun who is coming to see Maomao, but because Maomao was just sleeping in bed all day, he's just been waiting here since the morning, and I love that Gokuyo is just out here like, oh yeah, he's been waiting out here all morning, so I just told him to go pull some weeds. And here he is, I'm pulling some weeds. And I love that Maomao's just like, Gaoshun is like a guy who's pretty high up. Why else he freaking picking weeds? But at the same time, a hard-working man, a silent, stoic, but hard-working man, and he also gives some banbao to Maomao as well, so Maomao's just like, damn, dude, you really know how to get to my heart, so like, he understands. So Maomao can understand that, there might be some other ladies out here falling for him and all that. But Maomao asks if she can use the parlor so she can go talk to Gaoshun, I suppose, and then Hangyang is gonna go out, and then Maomao wonders, like, is Hangyang being sparkly-eyed too? Which I'm just kind of like, is that because of Gaoshun or something? I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe, she just had a great play date with Lingling, She just had a fun time playing with Lingling. So, who knows? Who knows? So with the meeting between Gaoshun and Maomao, he gives her the soup, right? The soup that was... Wait. This was the soup that Gokuyo was supposed to drink, but it was the one that's for, Lishu. There you go. As I said, all these names are starting to mix together with me. But we're starting to see a little bit more details on this mystery of who's this person who wants to... Oh, that's the other correction that I forgot to talk about, but I guess I'll talk about it right here too. Originally, in terms of process of elimination, and also just with the context that they gave us, right? It's potentially the culprit could be either, I wouldn't say Adol specifically, but like the people in her lady-in-waiting. But as we learned in this scene, but also technically from last episode, but I didn't really make the connection. It was Abdul's lady-in-waiting scolding Lishu's lady-in-waiting because they were just like, yo dog, why the fuck did you pick the red dress? Why did you get her to pick the red dress? Or not red dress, but deep pink, I keep wanting to say deep pink, dark pink dress. Alright, so I was just like, okay, that's an interesting one, So now I'm just over here like, I don't know, could be anybody. We'll just have to see, yeah. What if the culprit wasn't go for Lishu this whole time? They were just going for Lishu's poison taster. They just really hate the food taster. Anyways, Maomao discovers 4 sets of fingerprints. 3 of them touch the side of the bow, but 1 touched the rim of the bow. And as what she says that Hongyan has teach her is that your fingers must not touch the area that noble lips are supposed to go. So it's like either this person doesn't know about that, but then at the same time, it's like, how did they get into the garden party? And so it's like, well, not only are they just really out here, because she says they're like holding it like this, and probably like, actually, because it's on the outer rim, so the only way that they're holding it, I've got this, right? The only way that they're sort of holding it, because the fingerprints are kind of close together. So, like, the only way they're holding it is like this. But then she says they're mixing it while they're holding... I don't... Or unless they're holding it like this, right? And just pretend that this is the ground and, they're holding this and then they're mixing it with the other, to which at that point, they wouldn't need to hold it like... Anyways, all we're gonna say is that, you know what? Not only are they out here trying to poison Lishu, they also really trying to show the fucking disrespect out here, I think the mark near the bow's edge was left by the person who added the poison. They must have held the edge while stirring the poison. Again, I'm just like, if they were just stirring the poison, do they really need to hold it? But now I'm just like, if the 4 fingers are like this, alright, are they holding it like this? Is that... Now this is the ultimate disrespect right here. Albeit it'd be even more disrespectful if their fucking fingers were like right inside. As Gaoshun wonders why the taster's fingers mark on a high-rank concubine's bow, Maomao explains that this is because Lishu is getting bullied by her lady-in-waiting, and as what Maomao kind of says, this place is, you know, a little bit like a battleground, so the only people that you can trust or should trust are the lady-in-waiting, are your own lady-in-waiting, I mean. Right, there's supposed to be people that you pick out in particular, if I remember correctly. I guess that's how Gokuyo did. She picked out her lady-in-waiting. But here's Lishu, who unfortunately can't even trust her own lady-in-waiting. They fucking hate her. And Maomao explains, right, with this, I already talked about the dark color and how her lady-in-waiting wore white instead of pink. They're supposed to match the colors, but instead they're wearing white in order to make it look like she is a buffoon who can't read the room. And so they're trying to humiliate her like this, and she just doesn't know any better because, well, she's 14, so... Here it is. Maomao says, the rear place is full of enemies, so the only people a concubine can truly trust, are her ladies-in-waiting. And then here is Lishu's ladies-in-waiting. And so Gaoshun asks, why would the ladies-in-waiting do such a thing to Lishu? And Maomao explains that Lady Lishu became the previous emperor's concubine at a very young age. Then she left the rear palace soon after. Her situation is unique. A wife must sacrifice everything to devote to her husband. We are all taught this from a very young age. I guess from that perspective, to wed her deceased husband's son is an indecency beyond words. So, okay, when the idea of a wife must sacrifice everything to devote to her husband. And we're all taught about this at a young age, but here she is. After her current husband died, she goes and she weds her deceased husband's son, and it's just like, whoa, dog, that's pretty wild. And it's so funny that, I mean, it's sad, but it's like they put the blame all on her. But this quote entertains me on a very morbid sense, because there have been cultures where if the man dies, especially if it's like a royalty or something, if they die, then they're going to get buried with their wives or whatever. And I was just sort of like, dude, imagine you're just fucking chilling, and then suddenly it's like, yo, your husband's dead. Anyways, we're gonna bury you with it. It's just like, what the fuck? But it kind of continues with, you know, this idea of essentially the woman is supposed to give everything up, like give up her life, essentially, like give up her own desire in order to please her husband. And it's sad knowing that this is something that gets taught from a young age, and even now, here in our modern age and everything, it still essentially gets taught, right? It's especially in conservative families and such. And I just want to say, if you truly want to be in that role, more power to you. But it's a lot better than how it is in like the older age, where you don't have a choice. It's really just this one option that you have. But the nice thing about living in this time is that you do have the freedom of choice to go and do whatever you want, instead of having to be a wife who sacrificed everything in order to devote to her husband and such. Albeit still a little hard for some, but they still get the freedom to do it instead of this is your only choice. I don't know where I was going with this. Gaoshun asks one more question, which is, why did you try to protect that taster yesterday? And I love that Maomao immediately goes into protective mode, you know? Defensive mode, I gotta protect myself. Just a fucking cat fucking putting their back up, you know? As Maomao says, it's because the life of a serving girl is worthless to that of a concubine, especially if it's a food taster. And we've sorta learn in the first episode, I believe, right, that a servant girl, like, if she does something wrong, we can just fucking sentence her to death, and that's totally fine. And, like, servant girls, like, if one of them die or whatever, they can just replace them easy. Unlike concubines, who are a little bit more on the higher grade quality. I don't know why, but every time I think about, like, the status of women and all that, especially in these, like, you know, olden time types of period dramas almost, right? I always get this intrusive thoughts of the Manyu clan. And it's just so bad. Dude, the Manyu clan fucking lives in my head rent-free, alright? Also, this is an anime, I'm not talking about, like, historic thing, but feel free to skip this. But the Manyu clan is basically this anime. It sets in like kind of like this sort of olden time, right? This period. The idea is that breasts equals power. So the bigger tits that you have, the more power that you hold. It's so stupid. The whole show is so fucking stupid. Also, very much Yuri, but incredibly stupid. And the thing is that the Manyu clan is this secret clan that works for the nobles, and they go around finding common women, like commoners, with big tits, because, again, big breasts equals big power, and the nobles don't want these commoners with big tits, alright? They can't have the power, only the nobles can, so only the nobles get the big titties. So the Manyu clan goes around and find common women with big titties, and they just get their sword and they fucking slice their tits off. Intrusive thoughts I have every time I think about these sort of shit. The Manyu clan just kicks right in. I'm just like, oh man. Anyways, it's pretty much a fucking ecchi, like, R-rated anime, so, like, don't even bother. I recommend watching the censored version because it's so funny. And it's just light beams across the entire screen. You can't see anything. What's the point of even watching, am I right? Anyways, the whole point of the anime is that the character used to work for the Manyu clan, but she doesn't like that the nobles are the only one who holds all the big titties, so she's decided that she's going to, she's going to distribute the titties all around. All the women can have big titties. One of her loyal followers out here fighting for her and everything, and in the end, she too gets her tits taken away. And so, you know, this also helps the main character want to give her, you know, give her friend her titties back. And then also she's like Robin Hood, but for tits! Alright. Yeah. I've had too much tea. Too much tea in my body. So we've got Jinshi tired from his work, and he begins to show his true nature, as Gaoshun mentions. And we learn the relationship between Gaoshun and Jinshi, that Gaoshun has been taking care of Jinshi since he was born, and that Jinshi has a true status, which now I'm just over here like, alright, if he has a truer status, right, and if I can find the hairpin again, which I've already mentioned the potential symbol of this hairpin, if he has like a truer status than this, then like, is he really a eunuch? That's my question now. Is he really a eunuch? If he has like true status, he has like a high status position and all that, like, is he really a fucking eunuch? Perhaps he truly is a eunuch. So, only one way to find out. Eventually, Maomao finds out from Xiaolan that she can leave the rear palace with the hairpin, still not really understanding the whole idea of said hairpin. So she begins thinking about the hairpin that she got, and the only possible person that she would want to come to is Lihaku. And I believe I've already mentioned, you know, Lihaku's just this guy who's just like, I fucking gave all these hairpins to these women, and like, for some reason, one of them took me seriously. What the shit? What are you so mad for, bro? Man's out here swiping right. Is that what it is on Tinder or whatever? Anyways, he's over here swiping right and then getting upset that one of them is matched with him and he's not interested in them. Anyways, Maomao bribes him with the with introduction letters to the Vedigris house for the 3 princesses, right? The big 3 out here. And damn dude, the old madame just like fucking took him to Pairin immediately. Anyways, can we see Pairin? The old madame's out here getting money, dude. She's a fiend out here, dude. A money-hungry fiend. I love that she's just like, yeah, give me more young men so we can suck money out of them slowly. Holy shit, dude. You know what? She's a businesswoman through and through. So we got to see a little bit more of the pleasure district, something that we haven't really seen since the first episode for like a few minutes before she got kidnapped. But here we have Maomao, who says that there are girls who enter the brothels in order to become like them, which again I assume is the concubines. I mean, she did say become like them, but it's not easy, right? They could become servant girls or courtesans in training and all that, but they might not even make it up there to the high position of a concubine. And it plays into that idea again. These women are taught at a young age as girls that this is one way or the only way that they can get a higher status is to latch themselves onto a high-ranking man and hopefully live a good life, you know, and hopefully the husband isn't a fucking abusive motherfucker. And that's just how their life is going to be, right? Or at least how they are being taught here in the pleasure district, you know? But again, I would assume this is kind of I was gonna say worldwide, but a countrywide thing, right, at the time. I mean, technically, it would be sort of worldwide during this time and age. Unfortunately, it's sad, and I can't exactly put words into this right now. And also, you know, nothing really gets people going a lot more than accidentally going past the pleasure district and just heading right into the slums. And seeing all these, I mean, you see this man trying to flirt with this woman, and there's just fucking people just laying here. Nothing really riles me up. But she goes back to her house. She comes see her dad. Her dad's just like, yo, you've been out for a while, huh? But she recalls the stories that on the day that she got fucking kidnapped and everything. And, you know, her dad's chilling, but as she goes to sleep, he looks on at her without a smile this time, and we only see his eyes, you know, a little squinty, and he's just like, oh, the rear palace. What a twist of fate. And it's just like, oh, that's interesting. Dad had a plan or something, who knows? I was joking about how, like, oh, I would have sold you off some other time. But it could also be, like, maybe he met her mother at the rear palace or whatever, since we still haven't really seen her mom and such. And he's also seems like an old man. He seems a lot older. That's what I'm trying to say, right? He seems a lot older for someone like Maomao. So I don't know, you know, maybe Maomao also came from the rear palace and he took her from there or something. Who knows? Again, or he has some sort of plan for the rear palace, or maybe he used to work at the rear palace. Right, as an apothecary, and now he's retired out here in this place. Who knows, right? There's it seems like perhaps there is some sort of connection with the rear palace and Maomao's father. Who knows? We'll just have to see it when we see it. I feel like I haven't really been able to put my thoughts into words all that well currently, so if you're still here, yeah, I'll probably write a lot of stuff that I was talking about in this episode in the description again, and hopefully it'll be a lot better and more well thought out. So yeah, just check that down in the description and thank you for sticking around. If I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.